Hello students, welcome to our page. We are considering the chapter number 3 data handling from Ncert class 7. For maths we are considering the chapter number 3 data handling. Okay, in this chapter, in the previous lectures, we have studied about the representative values. That means how to calculate or which are the representative value, whatever be the representative values to indicate the data that we have considered in the previous lectures. Okay, now here in the chapter number 3 we are going to consider the next concept, that means bar graph. So by using bar graph, how to solve the example or how to get the information about the data or how to interpret the data in the form of bar graph, that type of study we have to consider in this lecture. Okay, now directly we are going to consider this concept of bar graph by using the example. That means how to read the bar graph or how to interpret or how to draw that bar graph, and how these bar graphs are helpful to give the proper or uh, in good data. That means good data can be given by or good idea can be given by using the bar graph. Okay, now we are going to consider the example. First of all, we are going to consider the first example. Use the bar graph to answer the following questions. One bar graph is given. First of all, you have to remember or you have to memorize the previous concept which we have seen in the 6th standard. Okay, already you have seen this concept, how to consider or how that bar graph is given. Okay, here first of all we consider the title. This is the title of bar graph. That means this title giving the information about the data, which type of data is given in this bar graph. So which type of data is given? Pets owned by the students of class 7. That means how many students have pets and which type of pets they have, that information is given in this bar graph that we can identify using the title. Okay, then next fact is here two lines are there. We can say that axis, one is horizontal and one is vertical. So horizontal is considered as x-axis and vertical is considered as y-axis. So for this both the axis one particular information is provided. So here if we consider the horizontal axis, then horizontal axis gives the information about pet animals. That means which type of pet animals are there. So here 5 types of pet animals are given. First one is dog, second one is cat, then rabbit, then hamster, and other type of animals that is given in 5th column. Okay, so all these animals are indicated along the horizontal line, that means x-axis, and second one is y-axis, where which type of information is given? Number of students. That means here how many students have that particular pet which is mentioned on the x-axis, like dogs, cats, or rabbits. Okay, so this is about the bar graph basic information. Now we will see the some questions and how to interpret that data. That means how to find out the answers for these questions. So first question is asked, which is the most popular pet? Okay, now here bar graph is given. That means these bars are given. This building like structure is referred as a bar and it is mentioned on the graph, so that's why it is referred as a bar graph. So how many bars are given here? 5 bars are given for 5 animals: dogs, cats, rabbits, and hamsters, and other animals. Okay, now we have to observe in order to give the answer for this first question, or in order to find the answer for this first question, we have to observe all the bars. That means all the buildings you have to observe and you have to find out which one is the highest. That means which one is the tallest building. That means whose height is maximum, that you have to identify. Then it is said to be popular pet. So here clearly if you observe the bar graph, then clearly this second building is very tall. That means tallest one is second. For which animal? It is for cats. So obviously the maximum number of students are like to keep cat as a pet So what is our answer now? So cat is the most popular pet. So in this way, from bar graph we can find out the answer. Okay, we will see the next question. What is that next question now? How many students have dog as a pet? Here in answer we have to find out exact number of students, those who have dogs as a pet in the class 7. For that purpose we have to observe which building now, dogs, that dogs bar we have to observe. Okay, now here if we consider the top part of the building, that means top of the bar, so you have to keep scale, or you can draw a horizontal line with the help of pencil here from the top of the bar graph to the numbers which are mentioned on the left side. That means vertically numbers are given, up to those numbers you have to draw the horizontal line, or you can keep the scale, so in order to obtain the value, that means where that bar is indicating the value, exactly which value is indicated by that top of the bar. So which value is indicated here? Here that horizontal line is giving the number 8, so obviously the value of that bar graph is 8. That means 8 students have dogs as a pet, so our answer will be 8 students have dog as a pet. So in this way you can find out the number for that particular bar by using the bar graph. So by using the bar graph we can find out the number of students, or any information can be found. Okay, we will see the similar example again, second one. So second example is again similar one, but here the data is given. Read the bar graph which shows number of books sold by a bookstore. So here which data is given? Which data is given? You can observe that question. What is the question? Number of books sold by the bookstore, that is given. So here one type of data is, which type of data is there? Number of books is the one type of data, number of books sold by a bookstore. And second one is 5 consecutive years. So 5 years, consecutive years is the second type of data, that also we have to consider. Now we will see the graph which is given here. See the, now here title is not given because directly they have mentioned here in the question, they have mentioned which type of data is there, so that is not necessary to give the headings or title. But instead of title, one line is given here. You can see this scale. What is the scale? 1 centimeter is equals to 100 books. Here you can see that. Now scale means here from 0, that means from this point 0 up to 100, the distance on the vertical axis, this distance between 0 and 100, that distance is 1 centimeter, and for that 1 centimeter how many books are mentioned? 100 books are mentioned. Now we know that in 1 centimeter total divisions are 10 divisions. That means that 1 centimeter is divided in 10 equal parts. You can see it on your scale also. In same way it is given on the bar graph. So if we divide this 100 books by using that number of divisions, how many divisions are there? 10. So 100 upon 10, answer will be 10. So therefore for each value, that means for each division on the this vertical axis, the each division indicate the value 10 books. So one line or one horizontal line here indicates the 10 books. So here total number of lines between 0 and 100 are 10. So obviously 10 into 10, 100. So 1 centimeter is equals to 100 books is the scale. Now we will see the first question in that. About how many books were sold in 1989, 1990 and 1992. So here 3 years we have to consider. First one is 1989. So this year we have to consider. Second one is 1990. So this graph we have to observe. And last one is 1992. So this bar graph we have to observe. So how to find out the value? So you have to keep the scale here on the top of the graph, okay, or you can draw one horizontal line. So it horizontal line, this horizontal line meets on the y-axis, and that meeting point is nothing but it is the value of number of books which are mentioned on the y-axis. So here, by carefully observing, it is found that, so the number of divisions here, first of all, how many number of divisions are there, that should be very important. So here 8 divisions are there above the 100. How many divisions are there? 8. So this arrow will ends at 8 divisions. So we have already considered the value of one division is 10. So here 8 divisions are there, so 8 into 10, 80, and it is above the 100, so we have to add this 100. So what we get, this 100 plus these 8 divisions, that means 80, 100 plus 80, so it is 180 books. How many books are there? 180 books are there. So 180 books were sold in 1989. Now in the similar way, in 1990, again you have to draw here horizontal line. Okay, so here you can draw the horizontal line. Now it will indicate 7.5 divisions, so each value having the value 10, so 7.5 into 10, 75, and it is above the 100, so we have to add that 100, sorry, 400. So 400 plus 75, it will be 475 books. So in 1990, 475 books were sold. Now in the same way, you can find it out for the last year, which is 1992. So it is 225 books were sold. So here for 1992, again you have to draw the horizontal line. It will ends at 2.5. So 2.5 into 10, 25, and plus 200, that will be 225 books were sold. Okay. In the same way, second question, in which year were about 475 books sold about about 225 books sold? So two questions are there. You have to find out a year in which about 475 books were sold and about 225 books were sold. Now already we have seen that in the first question, here 475 books and here 225 books. So in which year those were sold? In 1990, 475 books were sold. So what will be our answer? In 1990, about 475 books were sold, and in 1992, 225 books were sold. Okay, so that is question number second. Now question number 3, in which year were fewer than 250 books were sold? Okay, so here you have to mention in which year the books were sold will be less than 250. So that number should be less than 250. Now how to find out that number, or how to find out which years are those? So for that purpose, you have to again keep that scale on the 250 mark. So here where that 250 will come, it is exactly between 200 and 300. And if we draw one line if we draw, or you can keep the scale on that 250 mark, so you can find, or you can observe which years are, or which bar graphs are below of that line. So here if we consider first one, 1989, it is obviously below of that line. Then 1990, it is above. In the same way, 1992 is below of that line, and remaining 1991 and 1993 are above that line. So obviously in 1989 and 1992, fewer than 250 books were sold. Okay, so this is third answer. In the same way, fourth, can you explain how old you estimate the number of books sold in 1989? That means you have to find out how many books were sold in 1989. Okay. Now it is randomly, so by reading the graph we calculate that 180 books were sold in 1989. That already we have seen in the first question. How to calculate that, we know that you can draw the horizontal line exactly at top of the that bar graph, and or you can say that you can keep the scale exactly at the top of the bar graph and which indicates the number which is mentioned here in the vertical axis. So in this way, from the given data or from the given bar graph, you can find out the answers. Okay, now in the next question we have to draw that bar graph. Okay, number of children in 6 different classes are given below. Represent the data on bar graph. Okay, how many classes are given? 6 different classes are given, and the number of children are given. So here two types of data is there. Which two type of data are given? First one is class. Here first one is class and second one is number of children. These two types of data are given. How many classes are given? 5th, 6th, then 7th, then 8th, then 9th and 10th. In this way total 6 classes are given, and here number of children are given 135, 120, 95, 100, 90 and 80. Okay, we have to mention it on a bar graph. Now before drawing the bar graph, first of all very important that how would you choose a scale? That is our first question. That means how to choose that scale, that is very important. Then only we can draw the bar graph. Okay, now here as the maximum value is 135, okay, it is not too much, so it is maximum near about 135. Okay, so here scale we can take 1 unit is equals to 25 children, or you can say that 1 centimeter is equals to 25 children. That is sufficient. Or you can also take 1 unit is equals to 20 children, or you can also indicate 1 unit is equals to 30 children, like this. Okay, but I think 25 is sufficient, so I had taken the 25. You can take different 15 or 20 or 30 or 35, that also you can take, but 25 is ideal so that graph will not be too much bigger or too much smaller. Okay, so it will look a proper bar graph. Okay, now what is the by using the given data we can plot the graph. In this way I had plotted the graph. Okay, I had given the title. What is the title? Number of students in different classes. So from the title our data is given, so you can identify the data. Then next what I had used, the horizontal axis which shows the classes, then vertical axis which gives the number of students. Okay, in this way I had used the two graphs, horizontal, vertical, both the graphs are used. Okay, now here you can draw that bar graph randomly. It is not necessary that you can draw the exact number of, you can show the exact number of children. You can show it randomly, like 135. How to take 135 between 125 and 150? Randomly you can take somewhere between 150 and 125. Okay, then 120, it is little bit below of that 125. Then 95, it is just below the 100, 2-3 divisions below the 100. Here 100 is exactly at the 100, so it is not problem. Then 90, again between 75 and 100, it is somewhere exactly at middle or little bit ahead of middle. Here 80 also same way. So random scales you can take. It is not necessary that you can show exactly that bar graph is showing the 135 value. You have to take it randomly somewhere between those two scales. Okay, now next question is answer the following questions. Some questions are given. Okay, now we have drawn the bar graphs. So first question is represent that data on bar graph. So we had represented that data on the bar graph. Now we have to consider which class has maximum number of children and the minimum. So obviously which class has maximum number of students? How to identify that? By observing the maximum means highest bar. Here 5th standard having the tallest building, so it is the maximum, and minimum is smallest building. So here 10th having the smallest building. So what is our answer now? 5th class has the maximum number of children and 10th class has the minimum number of children. In the same way, we can find out the next question. Find the ratio of students of class 6th to the students of class 8th. Here ratio we have to find. Ratio means we have to take division. Okay, which ratio we have to take? Ratio of class 6 to the students of class 8th. Okay, now in order to find out that ratio, we have to take formula number of students in class 6th. Okay, so here how many students are there in the class 6th? Here it is mentioned 120 students are there, so that 120 is mentioned here in the formula. Then number of students in class 8, how many students are there? 100, so we have wrote that number 100 here in the formula. Now here same number from the numerator denominator can be cancelled, so 0 0 will be cancelled, and 12 upon 10 means you can divide it by 2. 2 5s are 10, 2 6s are 12, so we get 6 upon 5 or 6 is to 5. Any way you can indicate that ratio. So these are the ratios of class 6 students to the class 8th students. Okay, so in this way we can solve the question by drawing the bar graph. First we can draw the bar graph, then we can find out the number of questions, or from that data we can find out the solutions for the given questions. Now in the same way, next question is we have to, what we have to do, again we have to draw the bar graph. Draw a double bar graph choosing appropriate scale and answer the following. Now here double bar graph means for same candidate. Here which type of data is given? The performance of student. So here one student is there, and for that student 2 marks are given, first term marks and second term marks. So 2 values are there for single observation. How many values are there? 2 values are there. So 2 values we have to indicate by the bar graph, so therefore it is referred as a double bar graph. Now how to draw that bar graph? So before that we will see the data, which type of data is given. Subjects are given, 5 subjects are given. Okay, same student is there. How many subjects are given? 5 subjects are given, and for the same students 2 terms are given, and for those 2 terms marks are given. Okay, before drawing the graph, scale is very important. Now here maximum marks are given, maximum marks are 100, so we can draw that bar graph up to 100. So we can take scale as a 1 unit is equals to 20 mark. That means 1 centimeter is equals to 20 mark. So what is the value of 1 division? Now you can calculate in the same way. So total number of divisions between 1 centimeter are 10. 20 upon 10, 2. So value of one line is, or one division is 2 marks. Okay, now by using this data we have drawn the graph. Okay, again 2 axes are there, horizontal, vertical. Horizontally we have shown the, what we have shown, subjects, then vertically we have shown the number of marks obtained. Now here 2 types of bar graphs are there. Here this white one is, for all the white graphs are indicating first term marks, and here dotted or which one, shaded region shows the second term mark. Here you can show that on the graph. It is very necessary to show this which bar graph shows which data. So here blank bar graph shows the first term marks, and shaded or dotted bar graph shows the second term mark. That also you have to indicate on the bar graph. Okay, now we will see the questions, how many questions are given on that. Now first of all we can calculate the difference of marks of first term and second term. For each subject we have to calculate that difference. Okay, how to calculate that difference? Here we have to take difference between 2 marks. Okay, so subtract the first value, that means 67, from the second value. So we get first difference for the English So what is the difference? 70 minus 67, it is 3. In the same way for Hindi, first term having the 72 marks, second term having the 65. So again second minus first, that means 65 minus 72, answer is minus 7. So here minus sign in the answer, minus sign indicates that marks are lowered or marks are decreased. Okay, then next one is maths. 95 minus 88, that means second minus first, 7. Then 85 minus 81, 4 for the science. Then social science, 75 minus 73, 2. Okay, now we will see the questions, how many questions are given and which type of questions are given. Now, in which subject has the child improved his performance the most? That is the first question. Okay, now in which subject has the child improved his performance the most? So how to find out that he improved most? So that difference should be larger. So here, by observing all the differences, first one is 3. Here minus 7 means it is decreased, so it is not improvement. Okay, then 7, 4 and 2. As this is not an increment, so we can cut the Hindi, so there is no need to consider that Hindi. Okay, so 4 subjects are remaining: English, maths, science, social science. Okay, now here which number is larger, 3, 7, 4 or 2? So among these 4 numbers, which number is larger? 7 is larger. So obviously the in which subject he improved most? He has most improved in maths subject. Okay, no. He has most improved in maths subject. Okay, now next question. What is the next question? In which subject is improvement the improvement the least? That means improvement, again we have to consider improvement. So again there is no need to consider this Hindi. So what will be our answer? Least means minimum. So which number is minimum among this 3, 7, 4 and 2? So obviously 2 is the lowest number. So in social science subject his improvement is less. So that is the answer for second question. Then third question is, has the performance gone down in any subject? How to identify that performance gone in the any subject? Gone down, down means that difference should be negative. So first difference is positive, so ignore it. Second difference is minus, so it will be considerable because minus means goes down. Then next one is 7, then 4 and 2. So these remaining are positive, so means this is improvement. Okay, so all 4s are gone, so only one is remained, Hindi. So obviously our answer is in Hindi. Yes, in Hindi subject his performance has gone down. Okay, so that is the answers for this questions, for these questions from that bar graph. Okay, so in this way we can identify the answers. Okay, now last question is there. Consider this data collected from a survey of colony. One colony is there. For that colony surveys are done and some data is given. Okay, which type of data is given? We will see that first. Favorite sport, that means here sports are given, and in that sports they have categorized these people according to two categories. First category is the peoples which are watching the game or watching that sport, and second one is the peoples which are participating that in that particular sport. So two types of categories are there, watching and participating. Okay, now first of all important step is before that question is draw a double bar graph choosing an appropriate scale. What do you infer from the bar graph? Okay, infer means which type of information is given. Now as the here largest value is 1240, so we are going to take larger scale. So therefore what will be the scale? 1 unit is equals to 100 persons, that is our scale. So by using that scale, again we have drawn that data. So here we have mentioned which graph is used for which type of data. So here blank is used for people, those or colony members which are watching the sport, and the shaded is used to show the number of peoples which are playing or actually participating in that particular game. So along the horizontal we have taken the sports name, and vertically we have taken the number of persons that we have taken. So two axes are there, horizontal, vertical. Okay, now we will answer the first question. What do we infer from the bar graph? So this bar graph represents the number of persons who are watching and participating in their favorite sports. Either we can say that 1240 people are watching the cricket, or 620 people are participating in the cricket. So like this type of information is given for the different sports according to favorite sports. Now second question is, which sport is most popular? How to identify which sport is popular? The You have to observe these buildings. So observe the buildings and find out which one is highest or tallest building. So obviously for the sport cricket, both the buildings are tall. Which both buildings? For watching as well as for participating. That means both white and shaded having the highest or tallest building. So obviously what will be our answer? So cricket is the most popular, that is our answer. Okay, next question is, which is more preferred, watching or participating in sports? Okay, watching or participating. So which one is more preferred? That means maximum number of people are watching or participating, that you have to find out. So it is also clear from the data. What will be our answer? Watching sports is more preferred, because if you observe all the numbers which are given in the watching column, they are larger than the participating column. So obviously watching sports is more preferred in the colony. Okay, so in this way we can find out the answers from the given data, which is mentioned in the form of bar bar graph, which gives the exact information about the given data, or we can also plot the bar graph. Okay, just remember, in order to plot the bar graph, important is scale. And in scale, how to define that value of one division? You have to divide by 10 to that scale. Suppose 100 persons are there, so 100 divided by 10 is 10. So value of one division on y-axis is 10%. Okay, thanks for watching the video. I hope you will understand the video. If you haven't subscribed the page, please like, subscribe our page, and also press the bell icon to get the updates in the future. Okay, in the last lecture we are going to consider probability, which point is remaining from this chapter. So you can watch that video after we will post it. Okay, so for that you have to press the bell icon. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Again, have a nice day, stay home, stay safe.